You're listening to the Options Insider Radio Network. For more quality options programs, visit www.theoptionsinsider.com or search for Options Insider Radio Network in your podcast provider of choice. Listeners can also access all of our programming through our mobile app, available in iTunes and on Google Play.
The options market can be a confusing place. Sorting through the daily avalanche of data, alerts, updates, articles, and analysis to find the most important information is an overwhelming prospect. But now you have help. Welcome to the Options News Rundown, the only program that breaks through the noise to bring you the most important news and information from the world of options. Every day we bring you the top 5 option stories curated by the options experts at theoptionsinsider.com, the premier source for free options information. The Options News Rundown is brought to you by Market Taker Mentoring, the leader in option trader education. Get trader education, daily trade ideas, and more with a free 1-week trial of Market Taker Mentoring's live Advantage group coaching class by visiting markettaker.com/insider. And now it's time to break through the noise. It's time for your Options News Rundown.
Good morning. Today is Tuesday, May 29th, 2018. This is your Options News Rundown. I'm Dan Passarelli. Our first story today is from investing.com. It's the top 5 things to know in the market on Tuesday. First thing to know is there's a sea of red in Europe as Italy risk rocks the markets. Deepening political crisis in Italy provoked a second day of heavy selling in European financial markets. With the euro cut to a 6.5-month low, stocks punished and short-term borrowing costs surging for the government in Rome. Italy's FTSE MIB led losses across the continent, with the index down around 3%. Investors also fled Italian debt as the 2-year bond yield soared by 172 percentage points to 2.42%, the biggest one-day rise since 1992. Italy's anti-establishment parties abandoned plans to form a coalition government after the country's president, Sergio Mattarella, refused to accept their Eurosceptic candidate for economy minister. Our second story today is Dow futures dropped 200 points. U.S. stock futures pointed to a sharply lower open as investors returning to their desk after a long weekend monitored political turmoil in Italy while awaiting fresh data and earnings. Third thing to know is Treasuries rally amid risk-off mood. In another sign that investors were flocking to safer bets, U.S. government debt prices posted sharp gains. The yield on the benchmark 10-year Treasury note fell to a 6-week low of 2.799%. It last stood at around 2.85%, down 8.6 basis points. The yield on the 30-year Treasury bond was also deep in the red at 3.02%. Fourth thing to know is the dollar jumps to near 7-month highs. A lack of risk appetite plowed cash into the U.S. dollar, lifting the dollar index, which benchmarks the greenback against a basket of 6 global currencies, to 94.91, the highest since November 7th. But against safe haven yen, it dipped 0.6% to a 3-week trough of 108.75. The fifth thing to know here is oil prices stay under pressure. Crude prices continue to struggle near their lowest levels in around 6 weeks, amid expectations that Saudi Arabia and Russia would pump more oil to ease a potential shortfall in supply. Brent crude futures were up 20 cents, or around 0.3%, at $75.50 a barrel, within sight of their lowest since May 8th at $74.53, reached in the last session. Our second story today is from investing.com. Alibaba leads consortium in $1.4 billion deal for stake in Chinese courier ZTO. Alibaba Group Holdings Ltd. on Tuesday said it has led a consortium of investors to buy about 10% of Chinese courier ZTO Express, Inc. for $1.38 billion as part of the e-commerce firm's push into offline services. The consortium includes Alibaba's majority-owned logistics affiliate, Cainiao Smart Logistics Network Ltd., Alibaba, and ZTO, said in a joint statement without disclosing the identity of other investors. They said they expect the deal to close in June. The investment would be Alibaba's third in a Chinese courier after buying minority stakes in YTO Express Group Company Limited and Best Inc. Our next story today is from MarketWatch.com. Gold sputters as dollar gains and gets no boost from global stock retreat. Gold futures slipped but hovered just above the closely monitored 1300 line in subdued action early Tuesday, pressured by strength in the leading dollar index. Gold lost ground even as political worries in Italy seeped into markets across much of the globe, a development that historically might send the haven metal higher. Another Italian election looks possible within a few months, which could push the Eurozone's third largest economy, already roiled by political unrest, towards an outright snub of the shared currency. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is news you can use for today, May 29th, 2018, your Options News Rundown. I'm Dan Passarelli, Trade Smart, and have a great week.
Thank you for listening to the Options News Rundown. To learn more about these stories or any other developments from the world of options, visit www.theoptionsinsider.com, the premier source for free options information. The Options News Rundown is brought to you by Market Taker Mentoring, the leader in option trader education. Get trader education, daily trade ideas, and more with a free 1-week trial of Market Taker Mentoring's live Advantage group coaching class by visiting markettaker.com/insider.
The preceding program was a production of the Options Insider Radio Network. For more quality options programs, visit www.theoptionsinsider.com or search for Options Insider Radio Network in your podcast provider of choice. Listeners can also access all of our programming through our mobile app, available in iTunes and on Google Play. Don't forget to follow along with your favorite programs and submit your own questions for the hosts at twitter.com/options, facebook.com/theoptionsinsider, or via questions@theoptionsinsider.com.